Okay,
It
now
works.
what is that?
Yeah,
Now
it works. Yeah,
Hello.
it works.
Yeah.
Praticamente quando è che inizia lo streaming? Ok, quindi vi dico io quando iniziare. Che ore sono adesso? Quindi meno, no, adesso controllo sul telefonino.
I would say let's start. The time is arrived.
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
Okay. Very welcome to everyone today to this workshop, which is both on-site and online, over sustainable navigation progress of recreational boating sector in Italy and China. And this workshop is also to prepare the ICOMIA World Conference in October, also in Venice this year. So before we start with our interesting program today, let us welcome Mr. Roberto Perocchio, President of Assomarinas, to give the first introduction.
Very briefly, good morning all together. We, as Assomarinas, which is the Yacht Harbour Association of Italy with exactly 100 members nowadays, we thought it would be interesting to have this kind of exchange because Italy is one of the biggest yacht producers in the world, specialized in super yacht, but also in equipment, also in inflatables. And China, honestly, is the factory of the world nowadays. And both countries are investing and making efforts to lower the carbon footprint of our branch, of the boating branch, even if the carbon footprint of our branch is absolutely very small in comparison with other sectors. So the idea was also to have this discussion with Chinese colleagues because we are, as Mrs. Liu said, preparing together with ICOMIA, which is the International Council of Marine Industries Associations, the next World Marinas Conference. We make it every 2 years in different parts of the world in order to have more Chinese colleagues and more, let's say, people involved in China and the yachting business joining this conference. We thought it might be very interesting to meet together during the Venice Boat Show. Venice is an ideal meeting point for East and West, and so we expect to have also a very successful World Marina Conference. But now I would like to give the word once again to Mrs. Liu to introduce our honored guest, Mr. Mirante.
So let's welcome now Mr. Gianluca Mirante, who is representative of Hong Kong Trade Development Council, to introduce our workshop today.
Okay,
Floor is
thank
yours.
you. Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone, and also good afternoon for those who are connected probably from China and Asia and Far East Asia. So I'm so happy, and thank you to Mr. President for the invitation. I'm always happy to join this kind of meetings and events. Of course, Venice is wonderful. You know already this one, no? And also the Salone Nautico, it looks very, very interesting now. This is probably the 3rd edition or the 4th edition, been coming constantly. I will be also very briefly, my presence here is just to let you know what are the developments in Hong Kong in the sector. Of course, Hong Kong is a special administrative region of People's Republic of China. The relations are closer and closer. And nowadays, of course, as I was saying to Mr. President, there always been a lack of space of marina in Hong Kong because the demand is huge, but the space is so limited, no? And there are some good news. For example, the new development called Skytopia actually was launched by the Hong Kong Airport Authority because it's located exactly in the Lantau Island where the airport is located. It's of course still Hong Kong. It's very close to the very long bridge connecting Macau and Zhuhai in China, but of course it will be at the entrance of the Greater Bay Area, so the Guangdong province that is actually connecting and integrating more and more with Hong Kong and with Macau. So now also I can see also from Italy more and more entrepreneurs are interested in taking this opportunity, so to of course come to Hong Kong and also to explore the immediate side right at the other side of China, of Hong Kong, which is the Greater Bay Area and Guangdong. Big cities like Shenzhen, like Dongguan, like Guangzhou, and so on. So they are more and more integrated with Hong Kong. So that probably will be one of the strongest area in China in terms of place where Italian can also place their consumer goods, and also vice versa, where the Chinese entrepreneurs can actually target the luxury, Italian luxury, also the boat, of course, no? I remember I've been working for this agency for more than 20 years, and I always remember those so important VIPs from Hong Kong coming to Italy for work, usually for a few days, but one day was always dedicated to have a look to the development of their boat building, no? Lago di Garda, in Viareggio, in this area. So this is a long story, no? Because they always appreciated, of course, Italian manufacturers, but not only in terms of manufacturing, but also the design, the quality of the interior design, and so on. So Hong Kong, of course, is a place where you can conduct business very easily. Many Chinese companies are actually based in Hong Kong. With their branch, they can do a lot of business with Italians, but also with Western counterparts. So I will be happy to invite you to one of the big events. Will be in Milan on the 27th of November, because most probably there will be also the Hong Kong Airport Authority. They attended also this event we organized 2 years ago in Paris. So in case that will be confirmed, so there will be some room for discussion and to get together on how to better take advantage of the Skytopia and the surrounding area of this area. Yeah.
Wonderful. Assomarinas will be very glad to help. Okay, please.
Okay. May I add to that Hong Kong is really at the front line and center of the Great Bay Area, which integrates actually entire Pearl River Delta. And that is also a very strong area in boating manufacturing, and also they are now in front-running testing regulations to sail the yachts and boats in the whole area. So
Yes.
we will also hear one of the speakers is from Jiangmen, which is also in the Bay Area, which makes it.
There are, of course, other marinas. I didn't mention it, but
Yes,
there are so
Sanyang,
many, and
yes.
they can provide many facilities.
Yes.
But the most important thing is the innovation and sustainability concept that are now applied to all these
Yes.
marinas. Yes.
Yes. Okay,
Now
so
we need to go ahead.
yes, we need to go ahead, and I'm now introducing the main content of our workshop today. We have made a very long research, me and together with Assomarinas, on how are we going to implement this exchange, which should be very efficient and also profitable and complementary to Italy and China. So we have decided to make today's workshop in four dialectic parts and one initiative part at last. And so we have the first part will focus on yachts and river cruise manufacturing. And our first speaker of this topic is Mr. Paolo Bertetti, Chief Innovation Officer.
Bertetti.
Oh, I'm sorry. Mr. Paolo Bertetti, Chief Innovation Officer, Sanlorenzo Yachts from Italy. The floor is yours.
Good morning, everybody. We have not a long time, so in 10 minutes, that is basically what I have. Okay. I will try to give you a quick idea about what Sanlorenzo has done in the last 10 years. In the last 10 years, we have been very active in the sustainability issues applied to the yachting. So I will tell you briefly where we started and where we are. And then we will have 5 minutes for questions. So first of all, Sanlorenzo is a brand that is quite known for the value of his yacht. We are very, let's say, famous for our customized yachts. We don't build many. In a year, we build something like 70, not more than that, but really very customized. And in the past, our DNA was art, design, quality, but with a classic approach. Then in 2020, we understood that on top of our values would have been really necessary to switch to different or to add some different positioning mark. That is basically innovation and sustainability. So we started 5 years ago to work on that, and okay. Before going to the product, our approach was basically to understand where is coming from the, let's say, the impact on the environment for the yachting. And so we try to evaluate what is the slice of the cake that is coming from the production process, what is the slice of the cake that is coming from the production of the components that we bring on board, and then what is, at the end, the usage of the boat. So basically, looking to all the life from the start to the end. And we have realized that the major slice of the cake is when you are using the yachting. Why? Because the life of the yacht is quite long. So basically, our yacht have a lifespan between 30 and 50 years. So you can imagine that what you can do producing it is just one part of what we are polluting. So that was a starting point to understand where to touch the technology in order to get results that were reasonable. And the other point, before defining what kind of solution we should pursue, is to understand how yachts are used. Because you can have really a wide spread of utilization depending on the owner. So another important point for us was to download from the engines that we have on the yacht the data on how the engines were used in order to get an idea about the number of hours a year, and not only that, the speed, the load of the engines. So starting from that, you can see really a very limited example of what we have done in terms of download. And you can see that you can use the yacht between Italy and US many times, or you can just go around Italy or a part of Italy, or you can navigate or cruising around Europe. So what is important is to have a clear knowledge about the average and the exceptions.
Maybe on that side, because the computer is down there.
Ah, okay. Sorry.
Perfect.
Good. Then on top of that, we know that IMO, that is basically United Nations, organization,
maritime
yes,
navigation,
has defined level of pollution that should not be overcome, and a reduction path to reduce for shipping the pollution. So far, no mention to yachts, because they are not considering, they are too small, excluded. But you can see here, basically, 2050, we should go with shipping to zero carbon, so carbon neutrality.
let's say commercial shipping.
Commercial shipping above 5,000 gross tonnage is a very aggressive target, but is feasible. So we started to think that in yachting, we have to do something similar, even if rules are not existing, and maybe we have to be faster than that. So we defined basically, okay, the green line, that is the path that we are on a voluntary base defined as our target. So now we know what is the slice of pollution from usage of the boat. We know how many hours. We know what is our target, how to go there. Then you can have a first approach that is hybridization. So hybrid or diesel electric is something that can be done, and now the technology is mature. With that, you can have some advantage, but don't imagine that with that you can reach the target that we showed before. Is just a slice and is not the major slice. So good to do, good to pursue that, but is not what can give us a result of carbon neutrality. So on top of that, we defined that really fuels are the key point. And with fuels, you can have different options. You can have let's call it a evolution of fuels, still keeping the engines like are today, and that is what you can get with the HVO. That is basically a drop-in fuel, so you can put it inside the tank and the engine is not going to suffer. It's not detecting the change. And then you can have even something more, that is what we call revolution. That means switching to different fuels. And different fuels, we have evaluated methanol, we have evaluated hydrogen, and on top of that, we have even thought about batteries. But the point is, again, what we like to achieve. And if you see with the evolution approach, with the HVO, you can have a quite substantial reduction of CO2, but we talk about other pollutants, like nitrogen oxide or particulate matters or what else. With HVO, you cannot reach really a huge result. You have to switch to something different, and the something different that we have thought about is methanol. So now our direction is methanol for yachting. And if we talk about batteries, batteries are very good for some application, but not for yachting as main propulsion, because you need too much space, too much weight. So for a day boat, a small yacht that is just traveling up and down, starting from one point, batteries could be a solution, and hydrogen as well. But if you live for a yacht with long range, forget batteries. You need still liquid fuels. And then another point that we thought about is what is the effect, not only in the air of the fuels, but even in the water, because it can happen that you have some leakage. And from that point of view, you can see again that depending on the fuel, you can have a minimum quantity that is creating poisoning of the fish, but is changing depending on what fuel we are talking about. And that is another reason why we switched to methanol. If you see, with the methanol, the quantity that is lethal for fish is huge compared to diesel fuel, ammonia, or what else. So it means that it disappears faster in the water if you have a leak. And on top of that, before damaging fishes, you need really a big quantity. That is quite unusual. So that is another reason why we decided to switch to the methanol. And then let's see how to use methanol or how to use different fuels, because at the end you need engines to produce energy. And the main factors that we have to take into account are cost, power density, availability, and how the people on board are capable to use the engine without being too stressed. So from that point of view, we have defined three different directions. So the B-fuel engines. B-fuel means basically you can use diesel fuel and on top of that methanol. So if there is no methanol, because in the marinas, not everywhere you will have methanol, you are not stopping, you go with the diesel fuel. Otherwise, you can have a mix. And with that, you see where we are in terms of parameter or factor. So it's a solution that is starting to be mature. It's not yet fully mature on all these points, but we have reached, let me say, a quite promising situation. Then we have hydrogen. Hydrogen for short cruising could be a solution. Today, the major issue of hydrogen is the availability. So it's already difficult to find on roads hydrogen. In the marinas, forget it. So good to test the technology, but we don't see that so far as something that can satisfy our need. And then we have even looked to the hydrogen fuel cells. So same problems, but on top of that, there is an issue of cost. So means that if you like to have the same power with a fuel cell going with hydrogen, the power density is lower, but on top of that, the cost for 1 kilowatt is much higher. So no way. It's not yet mature, hydrogen on both fuel cell and engines, internal combustion engines. But this is worth. What we did was to test in the reality, because engineers are very good to define numbers and expectations, but then the important point is to test it in practice. So we had a 50 meters yacht running with methanol in terms of a genset. So for what we call hotel service or complementary energy. So instead of having a genset running with diesel fuel, we went with a pack of fuel cell running with methanol. So now the boat is 1 year that is running around. So we have really some real experience on what does it means. And then we built even an hydrogen boat for the American Cup. So that was really a small boat, something like 10 meters, with fuel cells using hydrogen and combined with batteries and foils. So it's a boat where we were able to reach 50 knots. We have built 2 of these boats for the crew that were running in the American Cup in September.
On foils.
Yeah, exactly. So we now have a real grip on what are the issues when you go far away from what has been done so far. And then now, just to show you something about what we've done. So we did it. It was not just a project. But now, as a last overhead, I would like to show you something that is important. So when you decide to go in a different technology, in a different direction, you need leading yards. So yards like Sanlorenzo or others that are working on that is important. But alone, they cannot be successful. So the other point that you need is engines and fuel suppliers, because we don't produce fuel and we don't build engines. So you have to convince them to go in this direction. It's not simple at the beginning because they are looking to the investment that are huge and the quantity of business that is small at the beginning. But now I would say the 4 major engine suppliers, MTU, Caterpillar, Volvo, and MAN, are working with us to develop dual fuel engines. Then you need national authorities, because if you have the fuel and the boat, but you cannot refuel the boat in the marina, then it's a disaster. You go nowhere.
And we just reached the new regulation for that.
Exactly. So in Rome, we were able, together with Confindustria Nautica, to obtain the authorization to use the methanol as a fuel. Sounds simple, but it was
it took a year.
1 year, but now we did it. And then marinas and ports, and with Roberto we are working very hard. He has been very open since the beginning to support us. And we have at least a couple of marinas where we are running fast in the direction. And then the last point is owners and crews. Don't forget that, because if the captain don't feel comfortable with a new device, he will push like hell not to go in this direction. So this means for us to create solutions that are easy to use, and on the other side means training in order to give confidence to the crew and to the ship owner that what they bring on board is safe and is reliable.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Bertetti. Excellent, excellent presentation. Very clear and not too long. The right size, let's say.
Any questions from the audience?
Let me introduce you, the Vice President of Assomarinas, Mr. Barbagelata, owner of Marina Porto Antico in Genova, one of the best marinas in Italy.
Thank you for your speech and your very clear explanation of what you are doing. I have two questions. The first one is, what is the feeling, your impression of the feeling of your clients? Are they available to spend more to have something green for the future, or you have to push the client to invest in this new technology?
To be very clear, not having regulation that are obliging them to go in this direction, only few of them are really interested. So it's like at the beginning with electrical cars. They were the early adopters that decided to go this direction, even if it was more expensive and more difficult to charge, but the big percentage was not moving. In the yachting is more or less the same. So we have to push in order to have someone that is starting. Then it will take a certain amount of time, a certain number of years before that will be a huge development. This under the assumption that no rules are coming to oblige you. That can change a lot the situation. If IMO will decide, look, even above 400 gross tonnage, you need to be carbon neutral in 20 years, and you need to decrease the percentage of pollution that you release, then that will convince other owners that is the direction to be taken.
Okay, thanks. And the second question is about the role of marinas. You underlined that marinas and the ports in general have a part in this new technology development. Speaking about methanol, okay, is it technically possible not to develop a direct infrastructure in the marina, but to have just an area, an open air area, beside the sea, obviously, where you can take with a truck, a tank truck, the methanol and get the refuel, because this will lower the investment for the marinas and will keep a joint with a bigger developer of new fuels, and you can use the same area for different types of new technologies.
Absolutely correct what you are saying. So that is exactly the direction we've taken. So in our view of the future for the next at least 5 years, what we have to consider is an area in the marina where you can come with a truck and then you can refuel. That is step one. To be allowed to do that, you don't need just the permission from the marina owner. You need then all the authorities that are defining what is the level of risk they are taking and what to do. So we went through that process. So today we have the approval there is really a specification that we have discussed together with the authorities that is defining how to refuel, with what kind of safety issues and safety measure. So that is what has... Exactly, it's a protocol that has been agreed. So that is really what we will need to do in the short term. Long term, I think that when the volume will be there, then we can consider fixed stations.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. So let's now go to the second speaker. Oh, what goes here?
Interesting.
Right.
The subject
Okay.
is important.
Yes.
Okay, I am Massimo Malaspina, the president of Ship Brokers Association, Italian. My question is, at now, the certification procedures for this type of new fuels of RINA certification are always almost defined or not?
Let's see that you have to go through a process, whatever is the register, could be RINA or could be DNV or could be ABS or what else, or Lloyd's. There is a process that when rules are missing, they are evaluating what is the risk, what are the mitigation design features that you have to consider, but it's feasible. It takes time. For sure, it will be much faster in the next years because we have broken the ice. So now rules are under preparation, but even if there are not rules covering all the perimeter, with the inspectors of the RINA or ABS or Lloyd's, you can go through the process and have an approval that is saying the boat is safe to be built and to be operated.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Yes. We are a little bit behind the schedule, but at the same time, I know that it is a very interesting topic for all of us. So we will do our best to be working together with very short statements. So for the next speaker, we have the second speaker is Mr. Filippo Brignone. Filippo Brignone, sales manager of Vita Yachts of Italy. That builds fully electrical yachts.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank
Floor
you.
yours.
Thanks for the introduction. So I will try to be as brief as possible. Yeah.
Is it right?
Yeah. Vita Yachts is a company that is born in 2017. Although the products I'll be presenting here today, we've started building about 4 years ago. And these are specifically built in our facility near Lake Maggiore in northern Italy. So we've decided that our go-to-market product that would be most suitable for a variety of applications would be the RIB, because it's a very versatile platform that can be used in many different situations. And so electric is already quite a niche at the moment. Having a product that's very versatile has helped us to reach a bigger audience. What we've noticed since the beginning was that we were focusing on leisure boats, which at the moment is still quite a difficult market to enter because of range restrictions that we have with electric power in boats, whereas the commercial work sector has been found to be a lot more viable and suitable for electric propulsion, also because they go at much lower speeds if it's working in a marina, for example. So we build 2 models currently, the Seal and Sea Dog. So the Sea Dog is a 5.8 meter rib that has been specifically designed for work. It can also be used as a small tender, but really the idea here is to have very high torque with quite a big battery. We have 63 kilowatt hours of battery. We have the most rugged materials as well for the tubes. And we have some very heavy-duty towing bollards. So this boat in particular was used with a vintage America's Cup team in south of France. We were towing two America's Cup boats from the 80s. That was about 40 tons combined that we were towing in and out of the marinas. And they were extremely satisfied with the torque from this boat and also the range, because again, even if you're towing at slow speeds, you're able to really make the most of the battery, and the boat was pretty much lasting a full day, so 8-9 hours of work. In this case, the top speed is 30 knots. We don't really see top speed as being the key factor for a workboat, but more the versatility of the platform, and we've decided to go for an inboard system because it allows you to have a very open area at the back, which we're getting some very good feedback on from the operators that have such a big platform at the back to work from. This is our second model. As you'll see, the styling is a rib, but we've tried to make something a bit more unique. And so we have partnered with a styling company in Milan that has been with us from the very beginning. And so this is one of the vessels that we have here at the show. You'll see, although being a rib, it's quite recognizable in its shape, especially because of the inboard system as well. And this is a 7.2 meter boat. We're able to have a single battery configuration, so 63 kilowatt hours, but also have a double battery, bringing the capacity up to 126 kilowatt hours. And this allows us to have a range of 35 nautical miles at high cruising speed of 20 knots. If you keep it at a let's say low speed of maximum efficiency, which is about 6 knots, we can do 60 nautical miles, so about 10 hours at a slow speed. What's very interesting of an electric powertrain is that on a mixed use, you're able to cover, you know, an entire day, maybe 6 hours, because you'll never have moments where you're always traveling at 20 knots. We see our users are always operating at a different operating speeds. So you might, when you're in a marina, you're going very slow, 3 to 5 knots. When you exit the marina and need to go quickly to a certain point, you can go at 20 knots and then slow down again. So on a mixed speed, it really does cover the entire day. I think there's always a big misconception of range. And so for sure we're able to cover a lot of distance at a variety of speeds. We've also focused from the very beginning on having high speed charging. We use the same standard as in the automotive industry, the CCS2 socket. And so we're able to fast charge at powers up to 90 kilowatts. And that allows us to reach to, let's say, recover 50% of battery in just half an hour. So these are examples of the boats we've built, rather than showing you a render. So as you see, these are very much marina workboat-focused products, the two on the top section. I've also included quite a special project that we've done at the bottom, being a conference focusing on Italy and its amazing breadth of brands. We have done a project together with Maserati called the Tridente. Although this boat, the actual hull wasn't built in Italy, all of the system was built and developed in Italy and integrated with Maserati's design team. So this was a very unique product that we had the opportunity to work with. And it's a very good example of what can be a very high level of luxury super yacht tender. Because with the electric powertrain, it really does offer a perfect, let's say, technology suited for a tender. You do short trips from the mothership to land, frequent short trips, and in fact, I cannot show you an image right here, but we have built 2 11-meter tenders for a fed ship on an 85-meter fed ship, which the owner is extremely happy with. It offers a much more silent and luxurious experience without all of the high level of maintenance that you often get from gasoline or diesel engines. So also the crew are a lot happier to have simpler maintenance technology on board the mothership, much easier to maintain and manage within the tender garage. Our boats are notably also very good for events and sailing events. So on the left, you'll see one of our boats in the Paris Olympics for the sailing regattas in Marseille. We were the official partner for electric support boats, and we had a total of 20 ribs supporting the regattas. The return was really unbelievable. We didn't expect them to be so successful, but out of a fleet of 200 boats, 20 were ours and electric. We had fewer issues than the gasoline-powered boats, and we quickly saw that a lot of the crews, the photographers, preferred using our boats because of the very open area at the back and very silent operation. So all the photographers were fighting to be on our boats rather than the gasoline-powered outboard boats. And we were doing a range of operations from managing the start lines to also all of the jury was using our boats as well to monitor the races, and in general creating a safety protocol around the perimeter of the race. On the right, we also had the chance to be partners with Ineos. They had 2 of our ribs that were used to move their guests along the race course to watch the races. And so that was also a very interesting and successful experience where electric power proved to be really suitable in this case. As I mentioned, I'll go very briefly over some charging specs, but we can charge both with AC power in a marina up to 32 amps, or also use fast chargers. One of our partners is Aqua Superpower, that is focusing on installing high-speed charging in marinas. And so it's really an essential part of this whole ecosystem that allows owners to go longer distances. You know, if you have a suitable corridor of fast chargers like there is in south of France, you're able to go from Ventimiglia all the way to Saint-Tropez, stopping in certain locations in between for a 30-minute charge. And so this is really one way that we're, let's say, fighting the range anxiety that comes with electric power in this sector. Although we're an Italian company, we have a really global presence. We currently have more than 100 systems operating in the water in 24 countries. And what this technology has allowed us to have a completely connected product. So our boats, when they're used and not used, are always connected to an app and a dashboard system that allows us to really support customers with technical issues no matter where they are. And very often these issues are much simpler to solve compared to gasoline products just because the electric powertrain is much simpler, has a much simpler architecture. These are some of the locations that we cover with our products. So even though we're not a very big company yet, we're able to really cover the entire globe with our products and our support team. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. Any questions from the audience? Yes, okay. We go ahead?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you,
Okay.
Mr. Brignone.
Our next speaker is the first speaker from China, and he comes now online, so maybe we need half a minute to test his voice and visuals. You do it, please. Mr. Ice Leng, Leng Feibing 先生. He is the vice president of Heysea Yachts from Jiangmen, China, that manufactures hybrid new energy boats and super yachts with battery storage, solar charge, and diesel motor and mix systems. Welcome, and the floor is yours.
Okay, thank you for inviting me. Can you hear me?
Well. Yes, we can hear very well. Go ahead.
Okay.
And the presentation? Just test your presentation now.
So the PowerPoint, you help me with the controlling the PowerPoint?
Yeah, I will tell you when it's on.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, now we have both you and the PowerPoint. Go ahead.
Right. Right, okay. Thank you for inviting me to this conference. My name is Ice, and I represent a company called Heysea Yachts from China. We are actually a super yacht builder in China, and we've been established for 20 years. Next page, please. Yeah. Unlike Sanlorenzo, which does not need any introduction, I think we need to introduce ourselves a little bit because a lot of people will say, does China actually produce any yacht? Actually, about 20 years ago, we started to produce yacht already. We founded in 2005. At the first 2 years, we focused on the commercial vessels, which is passenger commercial vessels. And in 2007, our strategy is to switch entirely into a private yacht sector. And in 2008, we introduced the first 78 feet monohull private yacht. And at that time, not a lot of people, not a lot of competitors in China, and not a lot of shipyards in China that can build yachts, especially with some kind of customization capability. At that time, we do karaoke rooms, we do mahjong rooms, and we do all sorts of customization that fits the Chinese market. So since then, we have been focusing on the private yacht sector for more than 20 years. And in 2018, we started to do export and not just focusing on the Asia and Chinese markets, we started to do export and also increased our range from not only luxury yachts, not only super yachts, but also catamarans, sailing catamarans, power catamarans, as well. So next page, please. Yeah, based on our capabilities that is developed from the Chinese market, we are honored to be ranked in some of the years as top 20 super yacht builders in the world. Next page. And our strength is basically in the flexible customization and also the portfolio. We have our own naval architect in-house team and also the full engineering team. So that's why we can produce hybrid boats. We can produce sailing catamarans all the way from 50 feet and also super yachts to 142 feet, which is 43 meters. Next page, please. And within all our yacht, even the smallest ones, like we want to keep the craftsmanship of the super yachts among all the products. Next page. Next page, please. And also we do a lot of interior design, interior layout, customization. Next page. These are some of the products that we do. This one's a sailing catamaran 59 feet, which is designed by a British designer, Bill Dixon. Next page. This one, interestingly, it's actually designed, it's an Italian design. It's a power yacht, power catamaran, 75 feet. Next page. We also do fully customizations. This is a 43 meters power catamaran. And next page. And also, this is also an Italian design. It's a 142 feet super yacht, which we already built 2 of those. Next page. Yeah, because I'm not here to do any advertising, and we're talking about sustainable energy here. What I want to do is that why I introduce these things is just want people to know that where we come from, who we are, and the next pages will be about how we implement sustainable energy into our yachts. Okay, next page. Well, for us, because we are not, we are a shipyard. We are, technically speaking, we are not developers of new energy or developers of new propulsion systems. We can only implement them to our yachts. So I'm gonna explain the 4 sustainable energy methods or models that we use in our currently use in our yachts. So the first one is a hybrid solution. So we call it a dual power system solution. So it uses a traditional diesel main engine with the motor. Both of them jointly drive the same propeller. In the high-speed mode, the engine directly drives the propeller while the motor acts as a generator to charge the lithium battery. And then in the lower speed mode, the engine stops and the electric motor drives the propeller, which is powered by the battery or powered by the generator. So for this kind of method, over the past 6 years, there's some clients who made that request that they want to do this. The main advantage for this one is that it is safer because it has both the diesel main engine, the system, and also the electrical system. So it's a conservative way of reducing carbon emission. But the downside of this one is that the technology, the smooth transition between the high speed mode and the low speed mode is not really verified in the market and verified in our yachts yet. So over the past 6 years, although there's a lot of clients who requested this, none of them really just went onto this plan. So yeah, on the second solution, it is a marine battery with range extender solution. So for this, the marine battery actually drives the motor to propel the yacht. And when the battery goes down to a certain level, there will be a range extender, which is technically a diesel generator, which activates and then recharges the battery. This eliminates the range anxiety. For this kind of solution, we've been using it in one of our sailing catamarans. The downside for this one is that for batteries, if there's a power consumption curve, like if the speed goes more than 10 knots or 9 knots, the power consumption goes exponentially high. So if you go like 12 knots or 13 knots, the energy will be consumed within 1 or 2 hours, and then and the range will be very small. So what we did is that we proposed this to our clients to a slower speedboat, which is more likely to be the sailing catamarans. So we do have one sailing catamaran which is installing this system, and it's going to be delivered to Dubai. For this one, although the energy used will be the energy in the battery, which reduces some of the carbon emission. But when the battery ran out, the range extender still uses diesel. So technically speaking, it's not using clean energy. It's not the final solution. And within this kind of solution, there will be something called a BMS system, or we call it a battery management system. When the energy goes below a certain level, which the client or the owner of the boat can set, 80%, 20%, or 30%. If it goes lower than that, the range extender will automatically activate and charge the battery. So that's the essence of this model. Okay, next page, please. We did some of the attempts in fully electric propulsion system as well for some of the smaller inland river and lake boats. For this, the main advantage is that it is actually clean energy because it does not have any emission. It does not use diesel engines. There's no noises. It might be the ultimate solution. But having said that, the range will be very limited because there's limited battery on board, and in the end, you do need something that increases the range. It could be hydrogen, or it could be the diesel range extender that I just talked about, in order to increase the range. So for this kind of boat, like a smaller 35 feet boat, the range will be 4 hours at around 10 knots. That will be a realistic range for this kind of boat. Okay, next page. And this one is almost everybody chooses our client. It's called we call it a battery energy storage system. So for this is not for the propulsion. It is only just for application. What it does is that imagine you're on a catamaran, on a sailing catamaran, and then you sail in the ocean, and then you stop in the middle of the sea. You close the engine, you close the generator, everything. But the power of the battery can then you start to use the power of the battery, and then you can cook in the galley while your guests go swimming, and you can still open up the air conditioning for a couple of hours using the energy in the battery. So these kind of stuff. And the battery can be charged by 3 methods. So first of all is the solar panels that we, almost all of our catamarans have a solar panel on top, which converts sunlight into power and stored in the battery. And then secondly is that during the cruising, the engine or the generator can also charge the batteries as well, so that it will be faster. And then thirdly, of course, if you are in your berth, there will be a shore power connection. Yeah, almost all of our clients in the catamaran sector, they will choose for this option because it actually gave the actual benefits to the customer. It gives, it improves the noise. There's no noise at all when you stop, and it gives great user experience. Next page. So it is my opinion, and also our company's opinion as well, that in order to have sustainable energy, fully implemented in the yacht, a widely adopted electrical yacht, a growth in the yacht market, we think there needs to be 3 conditions, and it's not there yet. First of all, we think that there has to be a breakthrough in the battery technology, because the current method that we are currently using is all constrained, restricted by the battery technology itself. So, you know, there's a lot of Chinese electrical cars, and there's news about developing new technology in terms of battery storage and different, for example, like solid state batteries, which it has higher energy density than the current like lithium-ion solutions. So if that happens, a fully electric boat can have a higher range. That makes more sense to a lot of customers. So if there's a time point where the battery technology breakthrough increases massively in terms of the battery storage power, then I think that will be a very good timing for the boost and growth of the electric yacht. And secondly, of course, the infrastructure. For the mass adoption of electric yachts, the infrastructure is very essential, like marine-grade fast chargers in key marinas, and also battery monitoring system to monitor when you should maintain the battery, and also a service network in terms of repairing, in terms of replacing and recycling is always very important. And thirdly, next page. And of course, for us, because I work in the international sales, I work in the marketing sector, so I do believe that apart from the environmental issues, apart from being environmental friendly, reducing emission, reducing fuel costs, I think there needs to be real incentive for the customers to choose a fully electric yacht or even a hybrid. Not only it uses battery, but also there has to be improvement in the consumer experience on the yacht. For example, like AI voice systems, like interactions between the owner and the system, transparency in the interactive screen, and also autonomous navigation. You don't need people to drive it. So only when people realize that the fully electric yachts can give you more than what traditional yachts can do, that is the right timing when people will accept more about the fully electric sector. So that's my opinion. Okay. Great. Okay, that's it. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you to
Heysea. You can take a photo of this. Yeah.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lung, and I hope that you're still with us, because the topic will still come back to what you have just stated. And so our first section is now finished with the yacht builders. And as we can hear from the speeches, a lot more importance is laid on now to the equipment, accessories. So we have selected some key components as the second part, the B part, and that is the engine, propulsion equipment, and battery fuel solutions. And we have here selected two speaking companies, and they are on the supply chain partners, which is quite interesting, we think. So I would suggest to let them speak one after the other, which also saves time, and then the audience can raise questions to them both, okay? All right. So we have the first speaker of the second section, that is Mr. Massimo Labruna, which is from AS Labruna, manufacturer for marine methanol and hydrogen engine, propulsion system, and cranes from Italy.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone, and thank you for this invitation to Assomarinas and President Perocchio. I'm very honored to take part to this event. I will be very quick, and I go direct to the focus of my speech. I want to say that the technology for ecological transition is ready. We only need the 5 actors that Mr. Bertetti spoke before. We need to cooperate together to reach the target. So I very shortly introduce what my company do. We have 4 business units from sea to land, and we give to our customer the powertrain for boat, on-road, and off-road vehicles. We start in the past with the core with the business in diesel engines. So we equip the boat with diesel engines. But in 2021, we create a new business unit, the e-Vision, that is focused on sustainability. We start to give the first hybrid and electrical solution for marine boat in 2011, but this business unit born 10 years late. This business unit have the focus on hybrid and full electric solution, not only in propulsion, but also in the generation of the energy on board. And we have equipped a lot of boats in military sector, but also in pleasure sector. We have outboards line, and we are a successful example of cooperation between Italy and China, because the second speaker after me is Mr. Jonathan Wang, that we are, he represents Explomar. We are official distributor in Italy for Explomar outboards, and we have also the role to integrate their components in the boats, not only with the engines, but also with batteries and other components. We have also pods, all the range, inboard solution. We produce also some little box for a little boat that have not only the electric motor, but also the battery and the DC converter, the charger inside in the box. So the first engine motor is a box completely in that we can change and internal combustion engines with an electric motor. But today, our focus is on hybrid solution. And we are pushing a lot on serial hybrid solution. These are an example of parallel hybrid solution. So we have the diesel engines and the electrical engines coupled on the same axle. But with this solution, we cannot go with great power. And I think that for the future, the best solution is, like Mr. Bertetti says, the serial hybrid solution. So we have electric engines that move the propeller, a battery pack that powers the electric motor, and we have range extender. Today, the range extender can be with HVO or other e-fuels. In the future, when the technology of fuel cell became with low cost, we can use for sure fuel cell. We have also battery pack, and in this sector we prefer for our solution NMC battery pack, because also in the application that we see after, the NMC batteries have the a great discharge and charge current capacity. That means that we can have a short time for recharge, and also a great power that we can give instantaneously. This is the first hydrogen boat, and with this boat we go to Energy Boat Challenge in 2022. Yes, yes. This is the first example. After we have applied this solution also to a gozzo, a typical traditional boat, Italian boat. So now, like I said before, this is our focus, because in this moment, the great obstacle to the ecological transition is the recharge infrastructures. So we need to equip the boat with a range extender. If we want to have electrical boat, we need to assure the right autonomy to this boat. So we are investing a lot on the research of various solutions of range extender that goes from methanol fuel cell, hydrogen fuel cell, and hybrid solution with HVO internal combustion engines. We use in this hybrid solution NMC battery pack, because for this we can have a very little time of in which the internal combustion engines go on. So for example, for the H-Evolution, we have only 16-18 minutes of work for the internal combustion engine to recharge a battery pack of 37 kilowatt-hour capacity batteries. But these batteries can give 74 kilowatt of power instantaneously. So this is very useful for a propulsion system, but also we can use this hybrid generator for hotel services in boat. So in the night we have no noise in the maxi yacht. Yes, because we have a battery pack that gives the energy to the boat. But we thought also that we need recharge infrastructure, and sometimes in the marina it is very difficult to have a lot of energy. So this is a great limit, and we think that we can create energy green island. So we apply the same concept of the range extender to some green island in Marina. So we have a multi-recharge system for a battery energy storage system. The difference between the other battery energy storage system is that we use automotive batteries. So these batteries have the same concept, a very high recharge current and very high discharge current, values or recharge current. So we need lower space, less space, but we can give a great peak of power to recharge. And also we can recharge in very short time this battery. And we can recharge this battery with solar panels. So in the marinas we can have some area of parking area with solar panel. We can have a micro wind turbine, and so we can recharge also from grid. Or in the future we can produce hydrogen, and after with fuel cell recharge this system. So this is the solution to increase increase the speed or reduce the time for technological transition.
To provide more power.
Yes. This is another point of view for the ecological transition, because sustainability and digitalization are two aspects of the same transition. So we we built this system that is a remote control system of all parameters of the boat. So not only the engines, we can receive all data from the boat, and we can make a lot of calculation on this data, and we can create the digital twin of the boat. So in the first intervention, we see all the GPS position of the boat. With this system, we can receive all data of position, load of the engines, load of the services, and so we can create a digital twin of the boat, and we can make predictive maintenance, but also simulation. This is a simple system with two hardware with which we can equip all boats. But the very innovation of this system is that we are the first to use a blockchain. So all our data are stored in a blockchain. So also in the future, this system can be a second-hand sales with real data of use. Because yes,
of the story.
Yes.
The story of the book.
Because in blockchain we store all data of maintenance, failure, type of load of the boat.
And you can't cancel or modify?
No, because it is a blockchain. And I think that it is also can be useful to receive some government incentives, because we can storage also the save of carbon dioxide with a calculation that we can notarize, and so yes. And so we have this system that it is an innovation in our sector. This is a simple an example of the data that we can storage in the blockchain. These are some awards from that in this year we have received from Monaco Energy Boat Challenge to also in Venice. Also now we are make the race e-regatta. So we are open to partnership. Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Massimo.
So let's welcome Mr. Jonathan Wang from ICOMIA, a manufacturer for all-in-one electrical marina propulsion system and fast-charging renewable energy system.
Yes.
Switch on the mic.
Okay. Did everybody heard me?
No,
No.
at home they did not hear it here.
Okay. Okay. Let's welcome Mr. Jonathan Wang from ICOMIA, manufacturer for all-in-one electric marina propulsion system and fast-charging renewable energy systems. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Roberto, and thank you, Ms. Liu Xiaoying, invited me to attend this workshop. Okay, dear guests, today I want to introduce ICOMIA, how empower the electrification of water transportation in the world with our technologies. Can you use the projector? Okay, thank you. We are here to talking about the green future of the boating. Actually, this is because the CO2 and the pollution produced by combustion engines are destroying our pure oceans and human natures and green marinas. So that's why we want to use our technologies to reduce CO2 and the pollution for the oceans. This is our mission, and our vision, we want everyone to continue enjoy their high-performance boating, but not lower down their life quality. And we also want to build electric propulsion ecosystem for the future. This is what we do, and this is our vision and the mission. This is also Istroma. Okay, I introduce Istroma in shortly. We are a startup company, was established 2021, and our team, our founder, Mr. Alex, and our team are mainly from electric cars fields, and some team members are from marine fields. They are very experienced on applying cutting-edge electric technologies and battery technologies. That's why we are inspired by these technologies and created the high-power electric outboard system, ranging from 70 horsepower to 1,200 horsepower engines. And thanks to the Chinese supply chain for the electric cars, we can make our system much more advanced technologies, and the price is very competitive. Okay. We define Istroma as a solution provider more than electric outboard system manufacturer, because we are thinking about how to lower down our operation cost, but with high performance and zero emission. This is what we think about. So this is why we make this high power electric outboard system. The first model we released is Wave 300. It is the first 300 electric outboard in the world. It's also the lightest 300 horsepower outboard in the world, and the highest torque 300 horsepower electric outboard in the world. We applied the high advanced technology like the axial flux model and the electronic steering system and 800 voltage, the high voltage platform on these outboards. To match the high power and high tech of the motor, we redesigned the non-clutch gearbox from ground by ourselves. Okay, you can see this gearbox. This gearbox surface also a heat dissipator for the closed cooling system. On this outboard, we obtained over 100 patents. And besides 800 voltage platform, we also applied 400 voltage on smaller outboards, like Wave 70 Plus. And also, we are also the first dual motors on boats with distributed systems. Like I said, we are the solution provider, not more than outboard manufacturer. We supply the whole system, including the outboards, batteries, and the controlling system, and as well as the chargers. We make every piece of the system working well like one piece. This makes the system high efficient, more safer, and more durable. Okay, this cases we delivered to our customers. The first one is 11-meter rib, belongs to AS La Bruna. Massimo knows it very well. Okay. And later we can show a short video about it. Oh, sorry. Okay, we are the solution provider that Istroma solved. Another main part of the system is the battery. On this Venice show, actually we released Super Island, the battery platform. There are two platforms, the 400 voltage, the 60 kilowatt hour module, and 800 90 kilowatt hour module. Okay, this platform can be scalable and extendable. Like the 60 kilowatt hour batteries, it can be extendable with the 2 modules to 120 kilowatt hour. And 90 kilowatt hour module can be extended with 2 or 3 modules to 180 kilowatt hour and 270 kilowatt hour. Besides this super island battery, we also applied the latest battery system, battery technologies, these solid-state batteries. Yes. Okay, here is HEDB 240, the 240 kilowatt hour semi-solid state batteries. The battery is much lighter and safer, especially for the luxury yachts and passenger boats. We also developed the dual thermal management system for the batteries, because for the safety concern, the battery usually get fired because of the thermal is not measured correctly. And we also, our battery support the battery automatically drop from the hose technologies when any danger happens. It is drop of the fire origin philosophy to solve the battery risks. And some people might be asked, on the islands or remote areas, there's no enough power to charge the batteries. There's no clean power to charge the batteries. And we have the answer is 5S energy station solutions. The 5S named from solar powers, scalable, self-supplied, storage, and solars. From these videos, you can see the sunshine transferred into power through the PVs, and the power is stored in the lower cost of LFP batteries. And the power from the batteries to charge the boat also can charge the EV cars. Okay, actually this 5S energy solution is a combination solar power, storage batteries, and fast charging stations. Yes. Okay, this name meaning. Okay. Okay, the 5S module is 300 kilowatt capacity. It can produce 1.5 megawatt hour powers, and also included the 522 kilowatt hour storage batteries, and 362 kilowatt fast charging stations with 8 guns to charge like 8 boats with 360 kilowatt hour fast charging stations. It can charge like from 8 to 35 boats per day. So this is very good solution for the electric boats. Okay, these are numbers.
Let's say a fully equipped dock with solar.
Yes, that's right. Actually, yes, the solar panels, PVs can put on the roof of the terminals. Okay, just installed the storage batteries within the container, and installed the fast charging stations with our partner like Aqua Superpower. Okay, they are producing the fast charging stations. This is my short presentation. We welcome every partner to empower the electrification of the water transportation in the future with our high performance and high power electric outboard system, also associated with 5S energy stations. Okay, we here also empower Venice electrification for the boating, so we can see the greener Venice, greener marinas.
Transitions, yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. It's interesting that La Bruna and Explomar, although they are from Italy and China, they have been working together for a while. So if there are any questions from audience for them? No?
No question.
I have one question.
Okay. Please.
Okay, yes. So how do you see if any policies and tools could help you to work together better and accelerate the transition process, what you just said? What would be your very short suggestion or wish, please?
Actually, the carbon neutral is close. Like in EU, there's a target 2030 or 2050 reach the carbon neutral target. Actually, it's very close. It's very near. It's kind of a little pressure for the boaters. They are still using the combustion engines,
yes.
and the emit the CO2 pollution to the waters. And yeah, the Venice water now is clean, but as the time is going, it will be changed. So that's why this our vision to work as La Luna. We have the similar vision and the same values for the boat future. So that's why we're working with Massimo for the boating electrification.
Yes, so that boaters from Italy and China could also connect each other through you, and they can learn quicker, and then you can, your product could go quicker to transit more boats.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
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 Okay.
I think also
all right.
It is very important to reach the same rules, because sometimes we have difficult with European regulation to integrate and standards.
Yes.
So if we can in the future
accelerate.
have the same
Yes.
rules,
Yes.
this can be a booster to the cooperation.
Yes. Interesting. Okay, so thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so we go into the third part, which is the C part of our workshop today, which is a tourist and leisure marina management and vessel maintenance. And we have in this section originally 3 speakers. Unfortunately, Mr. Jianjiang Yu, CEO of the Shanghai Passenger Transport Ship Company, for his interesting practice of the first world ship as a ferry ship, which has the super capacitor ship, which does not use any battery, and it is a very good, very safe solution for the public ferry ships. He cannot come today, so we have 2 speakers in this section. So let's first welcome Mr. Alberto Sonnino, CEO of Marina Certosa. That is an example of sustainable marina in Italy.
Thank you. We have thank you, everybody. Thank you for organizing this interesting opportunity. Hope people is also following online, and this is another example of the Venice Boat Show being quite a crucial moment for the industry to compare different solutions and state of the art of the industry. Mine will be a very quick presentation. Actually, once again, in the opportunity of the next ICOMIA World Marina Conference that will be held in Venice.
Let's show to the camera.
The very last printing flyers. We are insisting to promote this event as being the place to be for all the marina operators, designers, simple employees, institutions, and policymakers of the global industry of the marina sector. My experience is coming from quite particular environment. In another room, they are speaking inside the Venice Boat Show about Venice being the oldest city of the future, which is a cool slogan in my opinion, because it gives you the idea of the necessity of adapting our industry and our lifestyle, including marina sector, to the evolvement of the world, including climate change and economic development. I do think never more than in this period the global economy is variable, sometimes unstable, and it's very interesting to see that some industries are more resilient than others. And I do think yachting is a bit like this, mainly because marinas are long-term infrastructure to be planned well in advance. Sometimes they are slow in planning and realization, but this also means that they adapt to variable scenarios. On the other side, boating, boats are movable. So from a way or another, we do have similar tasks and challenges all around the world, despite the different environments. I insist on Venice being hosting the World Marina Conference because we will use Venice and the Lagoon of Venice as one of the most iconic place of the world, very visible, but also emblematic from different point of view, including the construction, the design, the accessibility, energy, and environmental impact. This also means that if something works for Venice, most of the time it does work for other situations. We also have a quite tricky regulatory system in Italy, in Europe, in Venice, sorry, in Europe, in Italy, and in Venice. So our designs need to pass several processes of authorizations, which makes the investment sometimes slower, but also controlled from several points of view. I will simply give you a point of view of Certosa Island being using yachting industry for different purposes, like yachting being not the final object, the final mission, but being a vehicle in order to regenerate a former abandoned military industry, which is this one, with more than 24,000 square meters of buildings, 110 buildings. Been quite critical, and using yachting to start a depollution plan, to reconvert existing buildings, and to attract also public and visibility from a traditional vocation of the city of Venice, being yachting. So after a long process, a small or mid-sized marina with 400 berths, tonight they will be fully booked, but this is not happening every day. The marina is quite a flexible and removable installation from the landscape point of view. It's all on floating pontoons with, I would say, basic complementary services, being water, Wi-Fi, energy, and several more, let's say, modern, I would say, technology that finally we could say they are business as usual. The Venice Lagoon site is a UNESCO site. So the Lagoon of Venice is a UNESCO site. We are inside Natura 2000 network. And the Certosa Islands is also a SIC, the environmental protected area from the European community. That's why the marina in Certosa is not the easiest project to be realized. But when done, it looks like being quite resilient and stable, and sometimes also iconic for those opportunities for colleagues that are willing to start this challenging process of marina investments, because we do approach all the different, let's say, obstructions, but also we I mean, I'm pretty proud of the solutions that has been implemented. So the regulatory system of the Lagoon of Venice allowed us, or gave us, the opportunity to study the best cases in the world. Sometimes they are bigger marinas with bigger budget also, and quite unique engineers. Coming to the solution of light infrastructure with several possibilities of monitoring the environmental impact together with the social and economic impact of what we were doing. The social impact was quite, so what 20 years ago was not clear enough to be called ESG, and clear indicators. Nowadays we can finally say every €1,000,000 we invest, it has a certain impact. Every boat, sometimes with different categories, has a particular impact on our social, on our local community, including economic impact. And every liter of fuel or gasoline that we use has a specific environmental impact, including buildings, shipyards, and most of all, let's say, water pollution. One of the most tricky things, or let's say the marina has been an excuse for the island of Certosa and the island of Sant'Elena, which is nearby, to realize the first piece of the sewage system of the city of Venice. 1 meter pipe for 3 kilometers, starting from Sant'Elena, which is just nearby Arsenale, going to Certosa, and then going to Lido and being connected to the metropolitan sewage system. This would have not been, let's say, sustainable for the marina only, but the marina has been the crucial excuse to realize such an infrastructure. Since 2005, so the very first step on Certosa Island, we measured the carbon footprint impact, which has been, in my opinion, super interesting. Nowadays, it looks like not being very fashion, not very used, but the carbon footprint analysis gives quite a unique measure of everything that is done from the infrastructure and also the mobility, including boats. I'm going to finish because, once again, Certosa has been a window, like a stage, and a laboratory for everything that normally in Venice is forbidden, is not allowed. Those solar panels are coming from a 5-year discussion with authorities for a simple application, being standard for Italy, of being allowed into non-monumental buildings to install solar panels since 2005 or 2001. This is quite business as usual all over Italy. With our application, the City of Venice rejected the authorization. And we did another application, and they rejected again. And we did it another application, every time a bit insisting on a kind of annoying strategy. On the other side, adjusting the project. We came to the conclusion that nothing is really forbidden, but the authorities are allowed to give prescriptions, so to change your project. And sometimes the projects are adjusted until they are not sustainable anymore, because either they cost too much, or the time is too long, or the suppliers doesn't exist. When you and the project, or the proposer, the investors, are resilient enough, sometimes also the institutions can be bended to our targets. And this was the solution. Joking, and without the supplier being in this room, we can say that we selected through a very complicated call for tender and a market research the most expensive and the less productive solar panel in the market, which was not the real smarter solution. On the other side, we opened the bureaucracy for solar panels being not only on Certosa Island, but in the whole city of Venice, including the monumental buildings, being churches or historical places. Probably not San Marco Square, but with the idea that sometimes those infrastructure can be authorized, sometimes they cannot. But if we are allowed to do one realization, doesn't mean that they will authorize everything, but they can evaluate step by step. By the way, 1,300 square meters of buildings. This is the shipyard of Certosa Island. 12 people are working inside, plus the offices. They are red. They wanted it red. They wanted it not only integrated in the roof, but without any old roof parts. So they need to cover the wall roof, being flash, like a flash deck of a super nice super yacht or sailing yacht, and being flat and being integrated. At the end of the day, we also won a landscape award for those kind of environmental critical places to host renewable production systems. The system is connected nowadays with 50 kilowatt of storage system. In order to make it really appropriate, we should triplicate the storage, possibly not only lithium, which is incredibly also polluting at the end of life cycle, but also with salt batteries or different batteries, because on land we don't need any lighting or weight problems. We can have also very heavy or different batteries. The interesting thing is that the system is powering a climate system, heating and cooling system with a heat pump, producing hot water and cooling and also heating system, but also 150 kilowatt of fast charger, being the first one in Venice. Yesterday night we were with a colleague of yours called Repower. They produced a wonderful new full electric taxi with 200 kilowatt full electric engine. The producer is a shipyard from Venice, from Murano, called Serenella, and they are coming these days, every day, to charge in 20 minutes 200 kilowatts of batteries, which is 1 ton of lithium inside the boat. So we're happy being the system also having fast chargers connected with solar energy, which is nothing strange, finally, but this is only happening 100 and few meters from here. The other things are business as usual. And I've been asked to let's say, summarize what we did in renewable, heating and cooling, building, let's say, thermo performances, so to upgrade the building efficiency, water cycle, including the waste, but also the using a well for non-drinkable water, for example, the gardens, because the island is a big park. So we are using well water instead of using drinkable water, also for washing the boats. And last but not least, the strategies for the real planning, because we didn't finish. So decarbonization is getting rid of gas and fuel and using electric systems. We are doing it. We also have agriculture machineries or travel lift, small travel lift of cranes. They are going all to electrics. And a huge plan for carbon footprint and also compensation with planting trees, with quite a scientific way to do it. But I do think, mainly for new marinas, the idea of do not significant harm is the real only strategy. So not only to compensate and mitigate the environmental impact, but also to avoid anything that cannot be compensated from the very beginning. I close with some pilot project, sometimes being really the risk of greenwashing. And this is something that I like to say, because I don't think anybody of us, like marine operators, are needing some labels, only labels, but also sometimes the visibility drives our strategy to try to be green. And most of the time we are already, let's say, green enough. The most interesting example, I pray all of you to read carefully the ICOMIA last fuel, or let's say global study being done on the impact of boating, globally speaking. At the end of the day, they compare electric, hybrid, hydrogen, biofuel, and any kind of other solutions, coming to the end that most of the time keeping the original diesel engines for the boats which are not used every day for a lot of hours is the very best solution for the stop, which has a ticket system, some lighting, some safety lighting as well. So on Certosa we did a pilot project which was quite interesting, 3 kilowatt of battery and 6 kilowatt of solar panels on the roof of the public transportation stop. Now it's working since 5 years. They are flexible light solar panels producing 6 kilowatt, which is enough for this off-grid solution. Another story was the plastic. We do think plastic marine litter is a drama. Sometimes it's easy to collect, sometimes it's not. Sometimes to have a huge big machinery working with an electric pump 24 hours, pumping water and using energy is more polluting in terms of carbon footprint than going there with a handy thing and collect or our colleagues, which are dock masters, going around with the rib, sometimes an electric rib is a good solution, and collect the marine litter by hand. To have a huge infrastructure with a pump, with a 2 or 3 kilowatt going all time long, it's green because it's nice, but it does consume more than the efficiency. Very last point has been the disaster management. During the World Marina Conference, we will speak about it from the insurance point of view, but also from the infrastructure point of view. I've been involved twice in quite a scary solution in Venice, which is not Caribbean or not Bahamas or not even Caribbean. So tornadoes, sometimes they are not so big, but they can be very, very dangerous. Came to Venice as well twice, one in 2019, one in 2012. The one of 2012, I've been really scared. This means being able not only to have a solid structure, sometimes it's also light things flying away and being really dangerous. Sometimes it's trees falling down. Sometimes it's boating, which is the safety of our guests are one of the most important things for us. This also means to be ready to alert people, to have a radar system being in the area. The Veneto region is very lucky or very good equipped with the radar systems all around, which is not only weather forecast, it's really to act as being sailing in the middle of the ocean and having a radar for a strong system, strong meteor system being dangerous for our infrastructure. I've been asked to mention very quickly the certification system. I think this can be really very time-consuming if it is not focalized on what we do need for our specific business. Most of the time, like some colleagues from the boat shipping are teaching to me, our clients are not choosing the marina, let's say, or the boat because of the certification. Finally, some clientele and some suppliers also, and some supply chains is appreciating our effort in the environmental impact management, and a third party, independent party, being given a label or given a rating system. But I've been addicted to this stream, and my colleagues were going to kill me because the time for the certification was sometimes more than the productive real time. So if the certification becomes a guideline for our investments and our training, mainly the staff and on internal organization, I think it's super nice. And I can give some suggestions, but better than myself, the RINA management, the Monaco Marina Management Company from Monaco, the Gold System Awards, the Gold Anchor Award system from the Yacht Harbour Association, which is a British, very solid and historical association. They can drive us, and they will drive us during the World Marina Conference to a comparison and a benchmark in the different market. I tried to do an integrated model in Excel and also with the software, because sometimes the same specifications and requirements of Blue Flag, for example, from FEE, are the same requirements as RINA ISO certifications or Gold Anchor. So the effort of the industry should be, and is going to be, to give a help and a guidebook, a handbook for the operators to be, not to lose time and to be effective in their proposals. My more suggested simple system is not obviously coming from us, it's coming from ISO. The 13687 certification has been done for yacht harbors by ISO 20 years ago. They issued the last edition recently. The code of practice from Taiha, which will be presented at the World Marina Conference, also by Marina Management Company, together with Taiha, is inspired by that. So there's a speech, and they are based on simple solutions from very designing issues, how many toilets every 100 beds, to most efficient or specific requirement in terms of energy management and customer relation systems in terms of our three guidelines: security, safety and security on one side, environmental impact, second pillar, and hospitality in terms of customer satisfaction being the third pillar. All the rest is academy or risk to be greenwashing. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Alberto.
Thank you very much.
We need to speed up a little
Yes.
bit.
Sorry, no question.
If there's any question,
Later,
Yes.
maybe.
We are in contact, and this will be recorded as well. Okay. So,
Who's the next speaker?
yes, our next speaker, as I said, is not Mr. Yu because he cannot come today. It is Mr. Godfrey Zwigart, consultant of Sanya Serenity Marina, example of professional marina in China with sustainable management. And he will speak to us from Sanya. Hello.
Hello, Sanya. Beautiful,
Buongiorno
beautiful
a tutti
island.
della Cina. Okay, so can we put on the slideshow?
Just a minute, it's going to start. Just a minute.
Logistical problem? Okay, very good. Thank you. Okay, so my name is Godfrey, and I've been in China for a long time. I was the general manager for the marina here, and I'm now the consultant for them. And I'm also the representative of the GmbH. Hold on a minute, I have to change the speaking system. Okay, GmbH, which is a global marine business advisors. I'm the member for China. Next slide, please. All right, so here, this is a bird view from our marina, which is a 250 berth marina. It's not a very big one. It's part of the Bay of Sanya. We are right on the Sanya Bay. It's a beautiful bay. And we are, of course, a yacht marina, a leisure marina. And we also now a biological channel and a kind of environmental pilot zone for the nearby coastal conservation. Next slide, please. So Sanya Marina, it was completed in 2012, and it's to the highest international standards. It has hosted a lot of very big international events, 2 times the Volvo Ocean Race, and 2 times the Clipper Race, as well as some other races around here in the region, and the Youth World Sailing Championships. We are the only marina in China accredited as a platinum gold anchor by the MIA and TYHA. The other one in the region is in Singapore. It's the 115 Marina. And we are the only 2 marinas in Asia with this accreditation. Next slide, please. So let me introduce a little bit about Sanya. Sanya is located on the southern tip of Hainan Island. It's right on the Tropic of Cancer, so we are a very beautiful tropical island. It's pretty big. It's a pretty big island. The island is like 350 kilometers long from north to south. It only started to develop like just barely 20 years ago into a touristic hub and into a yachting hub as well. So we have, you can see there on these 2 pictures, we have beautiful sandy beaches, and we also have some very modern building and very modern infrastructure now. Next slide. Well, China, the yachting business in China has not developed very early. It's been developing only very late. Since they're here in Hainan since 2008, there was only a few boats, and now in 10 years, 15 years later, we have 1,500 boats berthed in 3 different marinas. So the whole island of Hainan is currently turning into a free trade port, and it will be actually the largest free trade port in the world. And it's going to be, the customs are going to be sealed at the end of this year. So from next year, we're going to be 100% a free trade port. Next slide. I have to check my other monitor because this one is too blurred. Okay, one thing is that the government here has put emphasis on the green development. So, and they're not joking. So despite all the crazy development we have seen in the last 2 decades, especially this last 1 decade, in the last 10 years, the government has made it a point to keep pace with the times while keeping our pristine environment intact through 2 things. One is tight control and a lot of number of actions to promote this green environment. So like, for example, as you can see on this picture, the government has rebuilt large swaths of mangrove trees because mangroves on the seaside are a perfect habitat for all kind of fishes and crabs and insects and birds and so on. So we have a lot of birds in these mangrove forests, and they've been implementing hectares and hectares of mangrove forests recently. And also, that might seem strange to you, but you know that Chinese fishermen catch a lot of fish everywhere in the world, but in China they have implemented a control on the overfishing. There is a ban on fishing between 3 and 4 months per year, depending on which area, depending on which zone. For example, here in Sanya, we are 3 months, a bit over 3 months, 3.5 months in the summer, where fishing is totally prohibited. Not for regular people, but I mean for professional fishermen. So they are stuck for 3 months. They can't go fishing. Another thing is that they promote recycling. The recycling system here is pretty well done. With the whole island actually is like that. I think it's more or less the same now in the rest of China. There is mandatory recycling. They have a system with 4 sections for the different garbage, and there is you cannot discard garbage in the wrong in the wrong section. So, and after that, it's all recycled. And also, another thing that they've done here, typically in Hainan only, is they've totally banned plastic bags. Because as we all know, plastic bags are a terrible pollution for the sea, for the ocean. So they're totally banned in Hainan, and the only bags you can use now in Hainan are biodegradable. Next slide. Let's talk about the law. Because I don't think people over there abroad understand how the system works here. So that's why I explained a little bit about this law. The thing is that the Chinese government controls everything. And when we started this marina, we started in 2012. We started operation in 2012. There were no laws regarding marinas. There were no government bodies overseeing. For a few years, it was totally, we could do whatever we wanted. But that didn't last because the government, Chinese government, saw that there is a development that in this yachting field, and they asked all the government departments to exert control over that so that it would develop in a healthy way. So you have the EPA, the Ministry of Transportation, the Labour Bureau, the Bureau of Agriculture, Ocean Ministry, Coral Protection Agency, etc., etc. And regarding sustainability, you can see, for example, here, the picture on the left is to show you some of the documents we need to prepare to operate a marina. That's only just a small amount. We have to prepare huge amounts of documents. Anyway, and we need to get certification from all these different departments that I was talking about. On the right side, what you can see is an electric boat, and most of the rivers and lakes now in China, not only in Hainan, but in the whole of China, most of these small ferries and so on are 100% electrical. Only very big ferries use combustion engines. Next slide. So, when we got certified, before we got certified as a platinum gold anchor, we had to make a pledge. So we have a very big poster in our framed in our yacht club, where we explain to members what kind of actions we need to do to be sustainable and to be green, environmental. So, of course, here the yachting industry is not as developed as in Europe or as in the West, generally speaking. So our impact on the environment is still very small. But even if it's not as developed as in the West, we still have a key role in helping to preserve this ocean and this environment. So luckily, already one thing is very important. Is luckily for the power, well, we don't rely much on carbon based and on fossil fuel and stuff like that. We totally rely on renewable energies. China is definitely at the forefront of energy reconversion, and Hainan is also at the forefront. We rely mostly on hydropower, solar power, wind farms. We have a lot of wind farms on the seaside and on the mountains, and also on nuclear power, which we have very big nuclear production here. So it's pretty clean, and that's a good point because it helps us a lot. To give you an example, now in Hainan, all the private automobile park is 50% electric. And in addition to that, for example, all the buses, and we have a lot of buses, all the city buses. The city here in Sanya is 1 million people. It's not a very small city. And all the buses are already electric. Next slide, please. So, as a marina, within our pledge, we go with the times, and we do whatever we can do to follow this trend. For example, here we have on our parking lots, we have several parking lots. We have over 100, we have like 150 parking spots. And we implemented already like 3 years ago, we already implemented 18 charging stations for cars. So that's only for cars. But we also have charging stations all over the marina along the quays, along the jetties in the marina. We have charging stations for electric scooters because everybody here, almost everybody, 95% of the people use electric scooters. So they can charge their electric scooters. It's super easy. There's charging station all over the place. They just plug in, they scan a QR code with their phone, and they can charge, and for a very cheap price. I mean, they can charge they can get a full charge for something like, okay, half a pound, half a British pound, so something like 0.6 or 0.7 euro. Next slide. And part of our environmental pledge, I have a problem here. Hold on a minute. Oh, okay. We also can see, no, not yet, not this one. Previous slide, please. Okay. Another thing that we do here with the boats, for example, is that we've adopted the system that they had in the US, which means you cannot discharge at sea. If you have all the boats that are equipped with a toilet have to have a holding tank for the gray water or black water. And so we provide pump out on the marina. So, and it's totally forbidden by law to discharge at sea. It's absolutely forbidden. So if the boat wants to get a pump out, they come to our pump out quay, and we do a pump out, and the price is about the same price as a full charge for an electric bike, which means about, it's less than €1. That's what we charge. We see now more and more, we don't have any electric powered boats yet at this point, but we can see incoming jet skis, which are electrically powered. And I believe that very soon we will see more boats with the electric propulsion. So I think that probably in the very near future, our marina and other marina as well will have to cope with this by installing some charging stations for boats as well, which won't be a real problem. I wouldn't even be surprised if one day the government figures out that, okay, all the small boats can be powered electrically and don't need to pollute anymore. They might issue a law as well that, okay, if your boat is not over 10 meters, maybe you have to be electrically powered. And if they decide something like that, it would be like for the cars. They would make incentives for people to buy electric boats instead of internal combustion boats. So we'll see in the future, but there may be a lot of changes very soon. Next slide. So another part of our pledge to help with the environment is that we are partnered with the Tropical Ocean University. And the Tropical University here is doing some research on corals. And we are doing some coral farming within the marina. So all along the jetties, how is it done? It's quite simple, actually. What they do is they put some mesh in the water, and they put some, what do you call that? Some graft of coral graft on these meshes, and the corals grow by themselves. Here you can see two pictures of some corals from our marina. So it's very good because it keeps the population of fishes coming back to the marina, and because they feed on those corals, there is a lot of fauna and flora and fauna that feeds on that, and so that keeps maintaining the level of fish population in the marina, and that keeps the water healthy. So that's one of our small contributions to the environment here in Hainan. Next slide. Thank you very much, and hope to see you in Italy sometime.
Thank you too. It was a very excellent, let's say, presentation, very clear, and it is surprising. Sorry. Hello. From the side of the Italian marinas, just wanted to congratulate for the clear presentation, very effective, and it's surprising to see how much has been done in terms of electric propulsion, both on land and sea in your area. Thank you very much.
Okay, so we have to hurry up a bit because in China now is over 6 o'clock in the afternoon. But okay, let's go to the fourth section. That is very, very essential, which many speakers already mentioned. That is the Green Eco Boat Evaluation, Registration and Navigation Regulation. So regulation of the boat and the regulation of navigation. And unfortunately, Mr. Xiaobing Pan, which is from the China Classification Society, and that is making many different kinds of new regulations, and with the old regulations, he cannot come this week because he has some very special tasks to do. However, because it is a very important issue, and I would first introduce our next speaker, and after that I would introduce a hotspot mapping, which is I'm in discussion with Ms. Pan over the regulation. Okay, so let's welcome Ms. Charity Chia, Director for International Brand Development and Relations, Italian Ship and Yacht Brokers Association, ICOMIA.
Okay. Thank you, thank you. Is my mic on? Yeah. Okay, red? Perfect. Yes, it's red. Okay. I just want to say a very quick greeting to our Chinese friends in China. 大家好，今天很高兴在威尼斯跟一起大家参加这个很特别的研讨会。希望你们今天会喜欢今天的节目，谢谢你。All right, thank you everybody, and thank you. It's really been a great privilege and honor to be part of this very, very interesting seminar this morning. After so much excellent insights on what we've heard today, I would just like to share another complementary perspective on how the evolving role of yacht brokers today can actually enable green standards and green sustainability navigation, and how ICOMIA, which is Italy's National Association of Licensed Yacht Brokers, founded in Milan in 1997, can help ensure that sustainability doesn't just end at the dockyard, but continues through certification, registration, and compliant navigation. Okay. My next slide. All right, why brokers matter in green regulation? You know, in a complex and evolving industry today that we are navigating, brokers are no longer intermediaries. We are actually strategic connectors. What is important, the first thing is that we help align. Wait, let me just get the slide. Okay, all right. Okay, there we go. All right. So first and foremost, what is important as brokers, we help align stakeholders such as owners, shipyards, buyers with national international regulatory expectation. Our work now involves advising clients on eco-certifications and green classifications, as well as securing environmentally compliant navigation permits. Brokers are also uniquely positioned, especially in Italy, to ensure adherence to Italian, EU, and also the Chinese standards. And in this capacity, we truly serve as a bridge to actively close the eco-compliance gaps. Okay. Yes, we also on the sustainability in biofuels, all right? So Heysea actually promotes also the use of advanced eco-friendly biofuels, such as HVO, as we have heard, biomethanol, as Sanlorenzo has so cleverly illustrated, on methanol-hydrogen dual engine system, and also hydrogen. And we also focus on raising awareness about its benefits, addressing supply chain challenges, and most importantly, exploring government incentives. Heysea's professional and regulatory backbone. At Heysea, we are really proud of the professional infrastructure that supports our mission. What is important is that the members in Italy, as brokers, they are licensed professionals, registered with the Chambers of Commerce, and bring verified expertise to every transaction. We are governed by a strict ethical code that prioritizes impartiality, transparency, and confidentiality. Financial security is also critical because we offer escrow accounts, liability insurance to ensure that secure and trustworthy transactions are taking place all the time. This is very important. Moreover, our brokers are experienced in also navigating different regulatory frameworks, including the Italian ones, obviously, the EU laws, IMO conventions, and also CCS. Supporting eco-evaluation and registration. Heysea actively supports clients in eco-evaluation. Okay, it is important because it is a very, very complex navigation system already. So when we want to make sure that sustainability isn't just a design tool, but something that's properly certified and compliant. So we do also offer advisory services for eco-certified vessels and also helping clients guide through to assessing green tax incentives. There are documentation experts today that can assist in obtaining green classifications, and we ensure that compliance with navigation permit regulations. And also we have collaborations with the various classification societies such as RINA as well as CCS. So all this will help the whole process of transaction a little bit less complex and a lot more guided and also eco-friendly. Thank you.
Any questions? Shortly. Any questions? A short question. No question?
No, we can go
All right.
ahead.
So we go ahead.
Thank you.
Okay. I need to go downstairs. No, it's okay. So we. No. It's a D. Go down. I just introduced about a small but a very important map that is in process. It's about all available information online and public about electrical boats, ferry boats, and also tourist boats in China. And surprisingly, they have been reached, as far as we have searched out, more than 50 locations all around the country. And also in all different And in all different kinds of technologies, I think that is interesting to be a further contribution to what we are discussing today. Okay, so in place of a thorough introduction from CCS, which we have asked Mr. Pan to give a written presentation as an overview of Chinese regulations that is already approved or improvement as a result of our workshop. So today we could present you a very short overview. And this is what all kinds of different water activities, available. And we can see that sustainable navigation is about motorized boats, vessels, but also with non-motorized activities such as sails and a lot of other activities like as you can see. And there are a lot of potentials still to explore all different kinds of water activities, from small to big. Okay, and if we look at Venice as an example, because here we have the only place in the world that has a very complete water transport and variation of boats, and we can see all different kinds of boats, and these are very important to be transferred into sustainable navigation quite soon. So this is a map which is going on, I have to say. And this is also not a work from CCS, and this is a work from Natureherit Design Consult, which is my organization. And we are spatial planning consultant and green transition consultant. So we are observer of what is happening in regulations and in practice, and how far the society has catched the regulations, and how can we improve the different policy practice efforts. So we have discovered that although China is not, moving very centralized as one mechanism towards sustainable navigation, but there are a lot of movements already going on, and we can find in the country, in almost all provinces, you can see, except Xinjiang and Xizang, that does not have yet electrical boats and other green energy boats. And that is very interesting, because one side is that it is policy driven, that is what we see a lot in Europe, and the other is people driven and economy driven, and also people have more and more value on their green activities and also on their health. And our new energy boats is much more quiet than diesel boats, as we can see in Venice. And that is, the diesel boat is very loud, and also it gives a much more interesting feeling of the boating, right? So we can see the result we have now are all from public news, or they are from trusted product brochures, such as from Explomar, for example, but also from other products we can see. And also it is interesting to see that although most of them are electrical boats, as we have discussed today a lot, but other solutions like the hydrogen-powered boats and biofuel-powered and mixed models are also in testing. For example, we have hydrogen boats, although here in Europe and Italy is not yet allowed, or there is no regulation yet. We have the Nut Power company who has been waiting for a year, as I knew, because I saw their stand last year already. So, and in China, so far we can see, so far we can see is that we have in Jiangxi, in Zhoujiang City, And we have in Hubei in
They
Yichang
can
City.
hear you. They can hear you because you have to speak in the microphone.
Sorry. Anyway, we have in Jiangxi, Hubei, and Guangdong province at least 3 public commercially testing hydrogen boats. And the one at Yangtze River in Yichang is a big one, and the other 2 are smaller one, but they are all with CCS regulations. Approval, because China is very, Chinese government, as Mr. Gao, his Chinese name is Gao from Sanya, as he mentioned, is very active, but they're also very strict in security, in safety issues. They're very strict in safety issues. But although then they have already approved the hydrogen boats. So that, I think that is, for example, interesting to know from the Italian side and EU side how to I think it would be very useful to have some policy, maybe internal discussions, and that would be.
In future, we need an exchange on practical examples.
Very practical, yes, and policy practical. Okay, and there is this one example, the Lila one in Shanghai, and that is a very interesting thing to mention. It is called a supercapacitor powered ship for ferry boats. That is operated since 2022. So until now, it is operating very safely. And the technology is from the Chinese boating technologies. And this boat, as they have explained to me, is very safe. So it doesn't have the risk that the battery has. And it is very high capacity. And I think it would be interesting for many scenarios in Europe.
Okay. So we need to go ahead.
Yes, that's it. Because of time, so we will do a more and summary for the whole workshop. And so the last speaker, but not least, the last but not least speaker is from Shanghai. And this is this is Miss Zhang Bingjie. She is from Shanghai Jinqiao Lingang Integrated Zone, and it's also where the Shanghai Sailing Open is hosted on their Dishui Lake. And she has an initiative which is called From the Mediterranean to Lingang, Sailing Together to New Horizons.
Are they connecting? Are they connecting?
They are on Zoom. Bingjie. Sorry.
I expected we could have some problem. But we thank you all for this big effort, and in few minutes we will be reaching the end of this heavy session, I would say.
Is that clear, my voice?
Yes, we hear.
Yeah, thank
we
you
hear
so
a
much.
voice.
Yes, thank you.
Hello,
Yeah,
welcome, welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Good to have you.
Hi. So
I'm sorry, it's a bit
yeah, my name is Jay from Shanghai. It is a great honor to participate in this event. So we are a team from Lingang Special Area, which is located in Shanghai, China. We are a city that hosts yacht competitions. And today, my colleague Yuna will introduce Lingang to all of you, because she studied in Italy for 4 years and has a deep understanding of Italian culture. So let's welcome Yuna. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much also from our side, from the Italian Marinas. Just some more seconds to display the slides.
Very
thank
good.
you, thank you.
Yeah. 你看得见吗？ 看得见吗 ？Stop somehow. 看得见吗 ？It's stuck.
The picture is not moving.
No, but it does not move. This is a presentation, but her picture does not move.
Yeah, exactly. This is what I mean.
Okay.
So maybe she has connection problems.
Yeah. If it doesn't work, we play her. Yeah, it's very pity.
But it's a pity.
Yeah, otherwise I can speak something.
Wait
Yeah.
a couple of seconds to see if we can.
Yes,
catch her
it's
back.
an interesting one. Close her face, you mean?
Si è scollegata? Can you hear us? Hello, can you hear us? Charity, did you want to add something in the meantime while we see if we can catch up again with the lady from Shanghai? Because if you come here, you can add some things to the speech you just made. It's up to you. Just let me know. Okay. It's okay. Okay. Just a few seconds of patience. We just didn't want to waste the presentation because the speaker has been connecting and waiting all the time. Xiaoying, did you find out something?
She is coming in again. She said
Okay, she's coming in again because she had problems with Zoom. Okay. And this is the last presentation, and then we have finished the workshop Xiaoying. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry for the friends that are waiting on the other side of the screen, but of course we expected to have some problems with the connections. Luckily, everything has been working up to now. Anyway, maybe we can restore the connection in a few seconds. Okay, now it's working. Hello, welcome back again.
Okay, can you hear us? 明白，知道了。
Another lady here.
Yes. Okay, can you hear me? Can you hear us?
A little small.
We can hear you. Can you start with your presentation?
Okay, I can start.
Okay.
Thank you for starting.
Okay, I will make the slides for you. You can just
Okay.
tell me go to the next slide. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Please start.
Okay, distinguished guests, buongiorno. It's a great honor to introduce Shanghai Lingang area and the China-Italian Industrial Park at today's yacht-themed conference. So first, let's watch a video. We have a video.
No.
It's okay. As China's largest economic center city, Shanghai plays an important role on the global economic stage. It is a key hub for international finance, trade, shipping, and innovation. Lingang is not only Shanghai's new economic growth engine, but also an international platform that connects the world. It is fully promoting the construction of a China-Italian cooperation zone focusing on industrial partnerships, innovation resources, and cultural exchange, building a solid bridge for the international development of the yacht industry. Next, please. Over the past 5 years, Lingang has followed the city government's plans to build this China-Italian demonstration zone centered on industrial cooperation, innovation, integration, and cultural exchange. Next, please. Lingang is in Shanghai's southeast corner. It has connects. Next page, please. It connects to Pudong International Airport in the north and Yangshan Deepwater Port in the south. It is an important base linking China and the world. Starting from Lingang, it takes 15 minutes to reach the Oriental Hub, 45 minutes to reach the core urban area of Shanghai, and 2 hours to the Yangtze River Delta region. So next page, please. This is the full view of our Dishui Lake Central area. And the highest is our Twin Towers. So next page, please. Many Chinese and foreign companies have moved here, such as Tesla, Palma, Lip Motel. They receive good service and have grown their businesses. Next, please. This is our China-Italian Industrial Park. It's located north of Dishui Lake in Lingang. The planned area is 6.78 square kilometers, with a core startup area of about 1.5 square kilometers. Currently, the park has 300,000 square meters of industrial factories and 300,000 square meters of R&D or businesses offices for rent or sale. 500 acres of land is reserved for high-quality industrial projects. We are also building a live work innovative community for the future. Meanwhile, in the bonded zone, we plan new functions like international trade, bonded manufacturing, and bonded R&D. Next, please. These are some of our facilities. So, all Italian arriving in Lingang can enjoy 15% personal income tax incentives and convenient airport visa services. Comprehensive foreign talent support services ensure that talents from all walks of life can work more peacefully in Lingang. The availability of full stage, high-quality Pinghe International School, Muyin-ready international communities, and comprehensive medical facilities make it easier for foreign talents to live in Lingang. Abundant cultural tourism, sports, and leisure resources such as Disney, indoor ski world, Haichang Ocean Park, planetarium, yacht club, and more allow foreigners to fully enjoy the joys of living in Lingang while managing their busy work schedules. So next page, please. We have established an Italian tour service center to provide one-stop and full-process services for each Italian enterprises located in Lingang, and to solve the problems that entrepreneurs are concerned about, such as industrial support policies for enterprises, investment incubation funds for startups, credit guarantees for financing, intellectual property protection, and the enjoyment of Chinese national treatment for enterprises. Through a series of measures, we aim to build the Italian tour into a paradise for Italian enterprises to innovate and start businesses in China.
Would
The
this
next
be with
page.
a marina? Would this be with a marina? as it is in water?
Next page, please.
Okay. He doesn't know.
Let her go.
Yes. No worries.
There are
Go
some
on,
views
please.
of Dialogic Lake. It's very beautiful. So, no, yeah, next page, please. Our development now is very complete. So this is our Donghai Bridge. It connects to Yangshan Deepwater Port. It is the world's largest container port. Next page. These are all some pictures. Next.
At the Dialogic Lake. Yes.
Yeah, it's Dialogic Lake. It's right. Yeah. Next page, please. Here are some photos from our sailing events. So next page, please. The 2025 Shanghai Sailing Open held at Dialogic Lake. The event was a great success. Citizens showed unprecedented enthusiasm. Parents brought children to experience sailing and build their passion for sports. So next page. This is the China Maritime Museum, the only national level museum approved by the State Council. It is China's largest and highest grade maritime museum. So from Mediterranean to Lingang, it's not just a geographic connection, but also innovation integration. Lingang wants to be the first port for Italian companies entering China. We eagerly hope to attract more Italian yacht companies to Lingang, starting from the China-Italian town. We will use our unique lakeside, seaside location to build a distinctive coastal cultural city. We also hope to open a new chapter of global cooperation in the yacht industry with Italian. So thanks. Grazie mille.
And we have still a video from you, right? There's still a video.
Thank you too. Thank you for your explanation of the Shanghai Lingang area. Thank you very much.
Video.
Okay.
Yes. It's basically with a lot of top 500 enterprises with the latest technologies such as new energy cars and AI technologies and medical technologies, and many young people are with this company. So it's a very dynamic new place, new area in Shanghai with this lake and with sailing trainings and sailing competitions. Basically. The Italian Prime Minister Meloni and the Chinese Prime Minister, they have celebrated, they've inaugurated this cooperation. This is all on Dialogic Lake. See a lot of young people and nightlife.
And that's it.
All right.
So we have to make the conclusions very
Yes.
quickly because the audience is very tired after many hours.
Just the last slides, please. Thank you for everybody who is still here. And I know it's a very long morning. And there are a lot of issues to talk about. And Assomarinas, I, as moderator, we sincerely wish that this is not the end, but the opening of a more transparent and more effective information, not only to the technical parties, but also to the users and to the policymakers, because we do not need so many policies or the approach that it is difficult to reach some policies. We just need to see what is really how to do it together. And I think Italy and China are just complementary in each other's experiences. And here we are in Venice, which is the only city in the world that uses fully water transport. And although China had a very long tradition of water heritage and also nautical heritage, but nowadays we are a little bit slow with our water navigation sectors, although we have many these short trips, short water trips, like 1 hour, 2 hours. But we have to learn from Italy and also from Netherlands, where I'm from now, where I live now, and from the European Union, how to make this integrated blue economy policies. And Europe could learn from China how to move things quicker, but also safe. And there are a lot of experiences from CCS, for example, but also from the associations here, also from Europe. So we need to do more together. And
I think the audience understood this philosophy. We have to close. We thank everybody for the cooperation and for the patience, and we will keep in touch. And keep in mind that many of us will meet at the World Marina Conference in Venice in October. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. We will make a public note as a result of this workshop. Thank you, everybody.